Girls in the Band is the 19th episode of the 30th season of The Simpsons, directed by Jennifer Moeller, and I quite enjoyed this one. Lisa gets a chance to play in the Capital City Youth Philharmonic, and she's obviously delighted, but her teacher is very, very strict, and also it's quite far away. They have to drive quite far. Homer's got to take extra shifts at the power plant just to be able to afford all of this, and obviously Lisa's starting to feel the pressure from her family. There's pressure in the music lessons, but also she loves jazz. What is she going to do? And is it down to Lisa? Should Marge and Homer put their foot down and say this is tearing the family apart? But then would they be depriving Lisa of a once in a lifetime, potentially life-changing opportunity? What I really like about this is that I think this is probably a very real problem for a lot of people. I know people say money doesn't bring you happiness, but it can help to steer your life in the right direction. And had the Simpsons been, well, not even multimillionaires, just wealthy enough that they didn't have to, Homer have to take a second job and worry about driving everywhere. They could have, paid for somebody to drive Lisa. Basically, if money wasn't an object, I think this would have played out differently. And I think a lot of people are in a similar situation where they have a really talented child or children, but they don't have the ability to give them the opportunity to flourish. And maybe if they make some personal sacrifices, such as giving up free time to take extra shifts, they can allow their child to do that. But at what cost? And I think it really expertly helps to show the different sides to this. And I like the fact that Lisa was feeling it too. Not that I like the fact she was worrying about her family, but I think it was good of Lisa to be aware that this isn't just something that affects her. J.K. Simmons was absolutely brilliant as Victor. Great voice acting, of course, great voice acting across the board. Some really good music in it as well, which I guess goes well with the narrative. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a decent narrative that I think, as I said, a lot of people might be able to relate to. And even if you can't relate to it directly, I think just the question of what would you be willing to give up to help somebody else with their dream is something that a lot of us are faced with. And it's, I think it did a really good job and very thought-provoking. It's not the most intricate narrative, not much else happens. There is a kind of subplot with Bart and some other kids who exist in their siblings' shadows. I feel like that was underdeveloped. I think they could have done a bit more with that. It's kind of like it just started to gain momentum, and then we moved on from it, and that was that. We moved on from these characters that Bart meets. So I feel like that could have been a bit better, but the main narrative with Lisa, I thought was very well done and very interesting and definitely very thought-provoking. It's not ever going to be a favourite episode, but I would never skip it, I don't think. It's one that I thoroughly enjoyed, and if you haven't seen it, or even if you have seen it and want to watch it again, I definitely recommend it. All things considered, Girls in the Band is an episode that I rather enjoyed.